All right, we are here at Chicken and Pickle, putting a bow on a great show, courtesy of Fox and Friends. Steve Ducey was here in his home state broadcasting, and one of the guys who helped make this happen, really I would say the brains behind the whole thing, is our good friend Jasper Mirabile. All right, my friend, how are you?
Hey, good morning. What a show today. Come on.
Man.
What a crowd.
I know. What a crowd, huh? This was a lot of fun.
You know, people get up at 4 o'clock. Well, they got to get up at 3:30 in the morning to be here at 4:30 to get on. That is something else.
It is. It is. And you got to be, are you starting to fade, or are you still feeling good? You were
I still have a whole day ahead of me.
What do you got left?
I'll be here till 10 o'clock at the restaurant tonight.
Oh, my gosh. God bless you,
man.
My
day hasn't even begun yet.
Oh, that's amazing. Can you get a nap in at some point?
Not today. I hardly got to bed last night, a couple hours in there, but this is a week for Jasper's. It's a week for all the bars here in Kansas City and the restaurants. I mean, what a time to be in Kansas City again.
It's amazing. Hey, let me Mark down the line just said, you got to ask Jasper about this. I don't know if you heard what Travis Kelce said about Taylor Swift's best meal that she cooks. Did you hear this?
Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
You know about me and Pop-Tarts?
No, please tell me before I say what I'm going to say.
I'm crazy about Pop-Tarts.
Okay. So I said on the show yesterday that I thought it was an insulting answer because I'm thinking to myself, all right, if someone says to me, what is my wife or girlfriend or whoever, what's the best meal that they cook, and someone says Pop-Tarts, I'm like, that's not a meal.
No,
but is it?
He says he loves breakfast.
Should I be more impressed by this answer?
Yeah.
Oh,
because they're homemade Pop-Tarts, number one.
Okay, so explain this to me, because I'm like, that's a cop-out answer. Like, it's not a real meal, but you're telling me this is a good answer.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a Pop-Tart in the morning. I mean, it's like my addictive sidekick that I don't tell anybody about. But I've written about Pop-Tarts. I got in a little trouble on social media about Pop-Tarts and taking a photo one time. That's a whole nother story. But come on, man. There's nothing wrong with a good Pop-Tart in the morning. And her homemade ones, they've had some pictures and photos online. Because I looked it up immediately when I saw that.
So you think it's an admirable answer.
Oh, yeah.
And you think that making a homemade Pop-Tart is actually more difficult than it sounds.
Oh, my wife makes them every Super Bowl, okay? Hand pies, Pop-Tarts. But come on, to wake up in the morning, Taylor Swift and a Pop-Tart? I mean, come on. Pete, come on, think about it.
I mean, listen, I understand what you're saying there.
Swifties out there would love that.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're on. I think, now that you say it that way, there's a lot of guys who might like that too.
Yeah, come on. But he didn't name a restaurant, which was good. I mean, come on, he could have thrown out. He loved the cinnamon rolls, or she did at Rye.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But they didn't name any restaurant. He's always. He's like Mahomes. I don't know if they're well versed before they go on. They always know what to say. I mean, they really do. I mean,
they don't put their foot in their mouth.
No, they don't. And you can't holler about that. A lot of, all these other guys, they'll make a stupid comment or something, but he says the right things at the right time.
I guess I'm just thinking he built it up, and he goes, she's a great cook. She loves cooking. And then he says the Pop-Tart, where I would have been like, hey, chicken Milanese. I don't know. That would have been my answer. That would have been my answer. I would have thought of a meal. I thought the baking was a cop-out, but you're saying it's not, so I will take you at your word.
And I thought maybe there was something behind the Pop-Tart or something like that. I think he was just being very serious.
Okay, all right. Well, Mark and John, you guys win because you were way more impressed with this than I was.
I got Pop-Tarts on my mind now.
I know. Gosh. All right. Well, I'll give those guys the W on that one because I will be proven wrong here, I guess, by the master himself. Jasper Mirabile is joining us on KCMO Talk Radio. So it's a big weekend ahead for restaurants in this town. Do you guys all talk about what this week means and how big this is? And do you compare ideas, like whether it's having Chiefs-themed stuff? Like, how do you try to drive people to the restaurants this week?
Exactly. Of course, we have our packages. You can get a lasagna pack or a cannoli pack or a meatball pack on Saturdays. My friends over at Cascone's, the same way, getting ready. The guys over at Best Regards with their cookies and their porchetta packages. Everybody talks, and that's one good thing about Kansas City and the restaurants. We're all friends. There's no competition. You don't look at it that way.
So you don't look at it as a zero-sum game.
No.
Where if someone goes there, they're not coming here. You view it as like a growing pie,
exactly,
and you want there to be kind of like capitalism. It's a growing pie.
Yeah, that's the way. And you have to work with others, and that's all about my radio show on Saturdays. The name is live from Jasper's Kitchen.
Yeah.
It's not about Jasper's.
It's not. You're
it's
right.
It's all about everybody else in town, food artisans and restaurants and chefs who I want to showcase for this great city.
That's got to be something too that's brought you a lot of goodwill around town.
I think so. I
would imagine.
That's what we want to do. I mean, you come into the restaurant, I'll tell you where to go have a great hamburger.
Yeah.
Go have the best hot dog in Kansas City. I'll tell you.
Yeah, and that's something that you're right about that. Whereas there's a lot of people who would be like, hey, no, you're going to, I want you here. I want you in my restaurant.
You can't eat spaghetti and meatballs every day. Come on,
well,
I realize that.
I mean, I'm half Italian. There's plenty of people in my family who could do that.
There you go, Pete.
But to your point, you're right. I mean, and that's something that you do very well. And I imagine that other restaurateurs appreciate that about you.
I think so. And they know I support them. And that's what you do. You work together, and that's what it's all about. At the end of the night, that's what it is. You get enough customers in the restaurant, we all survive, make some money, and enjoy it, and especially this time of year. I mean, here we go, 5 years now. We're still rolling in Kansas City with Super Bowls.
That's true. How about the price of eggs? Is that impacting you guys at all? What's the deal?
That was about maybe 150 or 200 text messages on Sunday because my brother Leonard does all the buying between him, myself, and my nephews. And it affects you. You saw what Waffle House, my favorite restaurant, did, didn't you? You know about me and Waffle House.
Yes. No, I don't know about you and Waffle House,
well,
but I saw that.
Valentine's night at 11 o'clock.
Is that right?
With my sweetheart. But they put a 50-cent surcharge.
I saw that, yeah.
How does some of these restaurants, I mean, when you're getting $3 and $4, $5 a plate, you can't play games no more when you're paying $1 for an egg. And, eggs, $8 a dozen. I think they were $7.88. My brother got them on sale somewhere. Come on. But you can't blame politics. That is the most. Maybe I'm not well informed, but this did not happen with Trump.
No. This ties back, and it's not it's not Biden's fault either. Yeah. The price of eggs. They had to kill. I think it was 100 million chickens or something.
Hey, how about all the ducks they just killed in Long Island? No more Long Island ducks right now.
Is that right?
Yeah, is that Trump's fault because it happened during his term?
Yeah, I know.
Don't get me started with that stuff.
I know. But it's amazing that now all of a sudden, legacy media has noticed the cost of goods. It's like, hey, for the first time in 5 years.
You and I never talk politics, have we, on the air?
No.
But stuff like that gets to me. Come on. I mean, prices are going up. We try to keep prices to the level where customers can afford to still go out to eat.
Yeah.
And, our profit is not as high as it was 4 years ago. It will get there again. No, don't worry. I mean, just everybody work together. The eggs will be back. I know for a fact.
The eggs will. I mean, that's the thing. The eggs will be back. Yeah. It's just supply and demand.
Exactly.
If you kill 100 million chickens because of, I guess some flu that they had, and the demand stays where it is, the supply's down, price goes up. It's very simple.
And if you buy your local eggs right now, and I'm not putting a plug in for anybody, you get the eggs for $3.88 a dozen if you're buying local eggs.
Really?
It has not affected the local ones here. So, that sponsor of mine I have, their eggs, I put their photo up last week.
Hey,
I'm not being paid for them, I'm just telling you.
Hey, Hen House is a great sponsor for you.
And
as a result, they're a great sponsor of KCMO Talk Radio.
That's right.
So that's
19 years, so we're very lucky.
19 years with Hen House. Oh, my gosh, that's amazing. Well, I know where I'm going when I'm done here because I got to replenish my eggs.
Right down the street on 135th.
Exactly. They're right here.
Ask for the local ones.
They're right here. That's great, man. Well, Jasper, thank you for helping, first off, us get our show here.
Oh, yeah.
But I know that, you were big and instrumental in getting Steve Ducey into this chicken and pickle. So well done, my friend.
Thank you very much for everything you do for us, for the radio show, and for Kansas City. We really appreciate it.
I love it. Jasper Mirabile is here on KCMO. His show, of course, Saturday mornings on 95.7 FM.